Hello, what's up guys? This is PanzerSG here and I'll be playing Mechwarrior Online. Today I'll be taking you for a look around the Mech Lab and a little bit of gameplay as well. First up, I want to show you the mech that is a personal favorite of mine right now, and that is the Stalker 3F. Now this is an assault class mech, and it comes in many different variants, 3F being one of them. And, well, why the 3F variant then? Well, if you have a look, if I can find it right now. Yeah. Sorry, it's been a long time since I've actually visited this. I've kind of forgotten where everything is. Okay, so here is the in-game store where you can buy all of the different mechs in Mechwarrior Online. And right here we have the Stalker 3F, which I will be showing you, as well as many of the other variants from 3H, 4N, 5M, and 5S. What's the difference between all of them? If you're unfamiliar with Mechwarrior, you'll probably find that this stuff is gonna be really new to you. But basically all the different variants, they have different loadout slots. So they've got different weapon hardpoints that you can mount either energy weapons, missile weapons, or ballistic weapons. And they're all specially configured to that particular mech variant. So the 3F that I'm using, it has 6 energy hardpoints and 4 missile hardpoints. And they're all located around the arms and the torso. Comes to you standard with 4 medium lasers, 2 large lasers, and 2 LRM-10s and 2 SRM-6s. That is not the main point about this mech, because you're kind of gonna use a lot of laser fire and you're gonna be using a bit of missile fire, but I'm not sure you exactly want to have both LRMs and SRMs, because it kind of makes you neither here nor there, I feel. So I'm going to show you exactly what it is that I'm using on my 3F. Incidentally, the 3F is what I bought because it's the cheapest of the Stalkers, but you do get, a bit of bang for your buck here. So what I actually have on mine is 2 ER large lasers down here. So that's the extended range large laser. And that will actually get you, so you can see right here, although it takes up 2 slots, and it does generate quite a bit of heat, 8.5 units of heat right there, but it can do up to 9 points of damage per shot. So what you're looking at is a powerful laser right here. And in addition to that, I've actually backed it up with a couple of medium lasers on the torso. So it's common mid-range to long-range laser fire. I've got that pretty much covered without too much cost of heat. I've ditched the LRMs for a couple of Streak SRMs, and what these do is they're actually short-range missiles that can track the targets. So if you've got a guy that's just around the corner and you can get a lock on him, you can actually pop out and straight away fire, and you can almost guarantee yourself a hit, provided he doesn't duck away in time. And having 4 of these, there's one on each torso section, that's the left and the right, and there's also another one on each arm. So what that does is it gives me a good short range punch as I wear them out with the lasers and move in a little closer. So it's more of a short range missile boat, with the lasers more there for softening up the armor as you go in. As far as long-range protection goes, I put a anti-missile system down here on the right torso, and what that'll do is it mitigates the sort of damage that you might get if there is an LRM boat firing from further away, some of those catapults and whatnot. They're going to try and soften you up before you even get close to them, so using a bit of cover here and there, you can actually make use of the AMS to kind of reduce the damage and basically nullify it if you can really get behind cover. Key thing is you really want to avoid getting hit by LRMs. So that's the loadout that I'm running on the Stalker. And, well, you know, some might say it's not the best kind of loadout, but for me, you know, it kind of works, and it supports how I like to play. There are a couple of other mechs I have here, the Blackjack and the Jenner, and I'll be talking about those another time. The main thing is I want to show off the Stalker down here with its nice little paint job as well, and see how that goes. Alright, we'll be back with a little bit of gameplay in just a moment.
Reactor online.
And
Sensors
we're back,
online.
Powering up the
Weapons
Stalker here.
Online. All
You know,
systems
something about the
nominal.
whole starting up of a mech that never gets old. If there's one thing that Mechwarrior Online does really well is kind of give you that feeling that you're in a big stompy robot. And the most recent update that you'll be seeing right here as I'm looking at the scoreboard is the teams. In the past, you were limited to having 8 players per side. Now you can have up to 12 players per side, which makes, you know, mech combat even more more hectic at times, but definitely a lot more fun. If you look over to the bottom right of the screen, you'll see the weapons panel. This kind of shows you the status of all the weapons, their ammo and whatnot, and it also has the weapon groupings. So you can see I've actually set up my my weapon groupings so I can fire the lasers and missiles independently of each other. And you'll definitely want to be doing that unless you want to overheat fast. One thing you don't want to do is fire all your weapons at once, you know, accidentally.
Target acquired.
If you're looking up a little bit further ahead, you'll see a couple of little drones flying around with flashing red lights. Those are actually part of the new system that was added in the last update. So in the past, you know, you're kind of locked in this sort of third-person cockpit view that I'm using right now, but you can also switch to a third-person view. And what that does is that, you know, you get a better awareness of the surrounding, but you do lose the map. And in order to avoid something known as ridge peaking, what the devs have done is they put a little drone there so that you can tell when somebody is using the third-person view.
New target acquired.
I'm not too sure exactly how much of an advantage it is. Whoa, okay. Yeah. I was gonna talk about the whole ridge peaking thing, and though that might have helped just then. Just took a big hit to the center torso. Definitely being a powerful short-range mech isn't gonna help on this map. There is a lot of long-range line of sight.
New target acquired.
In fact, I can see right now the Atlas out there in the open. Not sure exactly whether I hit him or not, but yeah, one thing about Mechwarrior Online versus, say, Hawken, the radar doesn't actually function in a 360 view. Like if you've played, for example, Halo even, you know, in a 360 around you, it can detect certain things. Especially, well, enemies, I suppose. But if you're looking on the map, you'll notice this little cone pointing in the direction I'm facing. And what that actually is my sensor detecting sort of area. So anything outside of that cone is actually not visible to me. So that's part of the whole situational awareness, especially if you're working as a team. You'll want to be covering all of the sensor angles by scanning, sweeping the torso to the left and right as you're moving along trying to spot targets. Definitely comes to a very big advantage if you're, especially if you're in an area with high likelihood of enemy contact. Just trying to shoot at this Highlander over here with my lasers. Yeah, I'm firing my laser. Yeah. And he's just ducked behind cover there. Got a couple of good hits on him, but not exactly too sure. Definitely can't hope to take him out at this range with just the lasers. Like I said, this is definitely a mech that's built for short range. So even though this is kind of the build I like to use, I'll admit it's not perfect for every situation. Especially given that the Stalker is not the most agile of mechs, in fact it's far from it. Oh look, we got a kill assist. So it turns out, yeah, the hits on that Highlander just now did some good. Just getting stuck on this ridge right now. You can, if you have the volume turned up, you can actually hear the anti-missile system that was firing off just then. I'm gonna want to move because this that Orion over there actually has a tag. That's that little red laser that's pointing over there, and that is kind of the countermeasure to something like an anti-missile system or a jammer, where having the laser pointed at you increases the accuracy of the LRMs or long-range missiles. So that's how he was able to get some good hits on me. And I'm about to be attacked from somewhere. I just saw it. No, I thought I saw someone. See, one thing is that the mech's cockpit and its turning range actually factors into the whole
New target acquired.
Gameplay, that you have to play strategically in order to be able to maximize your firepower. Because you're not always going to be able to see, you know, all the enemies on your screen, and you know, having that sort of vision being blocked by part of the cockpit as well is definitely, you know, it's just it's part of the gameplay. Not exactly sure how to describe it, but it definitely forces you to think tactically, you know, how to position your mech such that you have a good line of sight and you've got good vision on whatever you want to target without sort of exposing yourself too much. So definitely it's a lot more to think about as compared to a lot of other games.
New target
You can see it's just firing off the... Oh, trying to avoid friendly fire over there as the Atlas sort of popped up. I think I hit him in the left arm a little, I'm not too sure, but you know, friendly fire is basically always on, so you don't want to... And you don't want to do what this Atlas is doing, is basically blocking the target for anybody else by trying to sort of face hug, I guess. He got his right arm taken off by the looks of it. That's one thing about this game, there are no health bars, there are no straight up indicators of any kind, it's just damage indicators. So you gotta pay attention to that damage indicator that you can see on the bottom left of the cockpit, and the targets indicators as well that'll pop up on the top right. So you want to strategically sort of target the weak spots of the enemy so you can take them down fast. Of course, the alternative to that is shoot their weapons off, because you can see what weapons they have loaded, but you can't tell which component is on where. You know, like he might have his lasers on his right arm, or it might be on his torso. So having a good idea of each individual mech will give you a good idea of exactly sort of where to shoot. You can see there is only one mech mech left alive and he's about to die, so... But all in all, this is, it's not your typical shooter, it's not your typical first-person shooter, it is a strategic mech game. You gotta think tactically, you gotta think loadouts. It is basically like all of the previous Mechwarrior games that came before it. Definitely BattleTech fans will agree with that they have done a pretty decent job of emulating what it used to be in the past. I'm definitely no BattleTech expert by any stretch of the imagination, but this on its own it's good. So if you're looking for something different, something that challenges, your mental skills, if you will, a little bit, this is probably going to be the game for you. Anyway, it's free to play. Link is in the description, so go and check it out. This is Mechwarrior Online. They've just launched recently, and yeah, free to play. Go check it out. As always, this has been PanzerSG playing Mechwarrior Online. I'll see you guys next.